Hi, I'm Kylie Hood. My generalist field placement was at McIntosh Trail. We worked primarily with individuals who were low income, no insurance or Medicaid, who had pretty severe mental illness, including schizophrenia, bipolar 1 and 2, severe depression, even borderline personality disorder, severe ADHD, but primarily with schizophrenia, bipolar. The focus of my specific work was getting them employment. I worked for employment services, and so it was working with these individuals to how do we overcome some of the things or some problems with their illness, whether it's taking medication or things like that. How do I get to work on time, and just kind of working with them on some skills. My most rewarding direct practice that I did was I worked with an individual who was severe ADHD and autistic. He had a twin brother who was also severe ADHD and autistic, but he was really struggling to get employed, and I worked with him a lot on skills and interviewing. I went with him on job interviews. I just found out he got a job after, about a month after I ended my internship this summer. What helped me learn about that was a lot of patience. He humbled me. I think I went in there like, oh, okay, I got this, whatever. And I think he humbled me, but he also challenged me in all the right ways. He was also my most challenging direct practice, because his twin brother would get in his head, and his twin brother, we would do group meetings where, we'd had this group support employment group, and the brother would just take completely over. And then he would kind of follow suit. Joey would follow suit. And it would kind of derail any progress we'd made, because whatever opinion the brother had, Joey followed him. And I can't work there because that place is bad or whatever. And so I learned that you need to stay humble, stay focused though, and keep your eye on the prize, and know what your client's values are, and try to stay non-judgmental. I mean, it was very easy to start looking negatively at the brother, who was another client. My specialization year is at City of Hope. The clients that I'm going to be working with are mostly stage 4 cancer patients, who are looking for a second and third opinion. And the focus of our work here, it's unlike a lot of hospital social work in the sense that the primary goal is engagement with the clients. We do a lot of therapy, a lot of doing a lot of direct work with clients, but we aren't really caseworkers. There are people that do that. And this is really exciting for me because this is exactly what I wanted to be placed in. It's the type of social work I want to be placed in, which is medical social work, but not a caseworker, which is more just working on, how do we connect with or engage with patients, as my supervisor says. I'm a little nervous because she's very direct. She is very challenging. She gives you on the fly feedback, like direct feedback. As soon as it happens, you meet with a client or a patient, and she comes right to you and gives you direct feedback. I think it's great that you give that. I'm a little nervous about it, but I also think that it's challenging because she'll ask you a question. What is reflective listening, or what skills did I just use? And you have to name them off. And so I think it's challenging but exciting, because it's like putting everything we've learned directly into practice, like live in the field. 2 burning questions that I have related to clinical social work practice. Sometimes I just think it's like, how do you not get overwhelmed sometimes? I know that we just have all this knowledge, and how do you filter it down to say, okay, hey, I know what I'm going to use here? Because I think I do fall into these tendency to kind of stick with CBT, or, I get, there's certain interventions like DBT that I think that I would have difficulty just implementing. I think CBT is a little more organic for me. So it's like, how do you decide, in a moment, hey, I'm going to go this way. And then I think the other is, when to shut up. And I think and when to be quiet and when to shut up. I think those are fine lines of, and something that you have to kind of learn to be still and quiet in the space. So, I mean, it's not like, hey, I need an answer for this, but I guess my burning question is like, how do you know that feeling when I'm like, okay, you need to be quiet now, or oh, okay, you need to speak now. And sometimes I think that's a fine line for me. Something people will be surprised to learn about me. Gosh, you guys have known me for a hot minute. I don't know. I worked in the medical device industry with neurosurgeons. I did cadaver labs with human heads. They were severed at C7 for several years. So I work a lot with dead. I have a lot of work with dead people and alive people, but mostly dead people, or the alive people I was working with were under an operating table. So I guess that's a fun fact about me. Thanks.